can't take it to 10.
Hey.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a terrific matchup on tap between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cleveland Browns. Hi again, everyone. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, we look at this Browns ball club. Their long winning streak finally came to an end last week. A disappointing game for them, but still a heck of a run.
Indeed it was. What a great job by them putting together a streak. Now let's see how they rebound after a defeat.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Ravens, they're hitting their stride of late. Winners of 3 of their last 4. Here we go. The final week of the NFL season. Week 17 is underway. This is taken at the 3. And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. So here come the Ravens with their first look on offense. And they will be led out by their 6'3 cornerback.
And what I'm looking for from him today, the things every quarterback is looking to do. Lead his team to a victory. Doesn't matter whether he's throwing it, running it, handing it off, however he has to do it, as well as exhibiting some leadership, that's what he's trying to accomplish.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one for about 4 up to the 40. Well, look now at the starters on the defensive side for the Browns. They were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in, and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down.
Well, the pass rush has been a real strength of late. They know how to get after the quarterback.
Absolutely. 4 sacks last week. That's their first one here. Anything in particular you've seen from them or on film?
I think that they're winning athletically up front, winning those one-on-one battles, but also when the offensive line wants to keep everyone in and mass protect, they know how to scheme their way back to the quarterback as well.
Now this is fielded in the end zone. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And the Browns will take over, 1st and 10. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They'll run on 1st down. It's Newman. The numbers for him from a week ago, 15 carries, 121 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, he's the number 2 runner in the league, and you just know the offensive line wants to get him to number 1 because most of the good ball carriers, they take care of their linemen. Could be a gold watch in their future if he becomes the leading rusher.
I'm coming for you.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Glenn. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all of a sudden, they're knocking on the door inside Baltimore's 10. It's a big play there for the Browns. 45 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5. This will be caught at about the 6. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A 7-yard touchdown grab as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for Cleveland. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. The Ravens heading out on offense as we look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And this certainly confirms all the chatter, how big of a final weekend this is. For the moment, the 6th seed is there, has been able to take a victory to officially lock that down.
I hear the excitement in your voice about this.
Or nervousness, both ways.
Either way, but you know, I've never met a player who didn't go into a game with a little bit of nervousness and played well and didn't play well. Because look, if you go in without that edge, and to this game has an edge to it, doesn't it? Then you're really not going to perform that well.
Well, once again, they'll go from the 23-yard line on 2nd and 10. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout. And that means your offense has to keep pace.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he fumbled it. It's over the ground.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Looking to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
The Browns offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. And you can see it's no race for the top spot. That's been decided. These guys will hope to get through Week 17 in one piece before they host a division round game in 2 weeks' time.
And I think that what they'll do is they'll be very selective about who plays in this game. All right, there's certain guys that maybe are starters, but maybe haven't played as much as other guys during the year. Maybe they still need their timing back. Other guys, you're going to put bubble wrap and put them on the sidelines and tell them, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. And what they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
On 1st down, Glenn, he's going to fire one deep left sideline, and that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. And a peek now at the offense for Cleveland.
And we expected to have already talked about this unit. We didn't get a chance to hit on them on the opening drive because they scored so quickly. but that's the kind of unit this is. A quick strike offense. I expect to see them taking their shots all game long. And if that's the case, we'll find ways to talk about this group.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now a give, right side. Newman. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
Let's go. 60 outlaw. Right there, 56. Let's go, D. It's going to be a long day, offense. It's going to be it.
Throwing on first down. Glenn. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down. Solid catch there for a man who's been so brilliant this year. Worth pointing out, as we were talking about earlier, there has never in the 60-year history of the award been a pass catcher, tight end, or wide receiver that has taken home the MVP trophy.
The best receivers I've talked with.
And the ball is knocked out, and it's picked up by the Ravens.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
They come up with exactly 1 minute to go in this first quarter. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And once again, not much running room, if any at all. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they do get 3 points, but that's now 3 drives with only the 3 points, not a ratio that's going to win you many ball games.
Not at all, Brandon. And think about it this way. We all know payoff is the key, right? And wouldn't we love to have the concession on every T-shirt that's been printed in football that says finish on it? Because that's the mantra everywhere. Got to be able to finish drives, put points on the board.
There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. A tough challenge here in this one. We'll see if he can duplicate the numbers on your screen that he put up last week, up over 100 and a touchdown.
We were watching tape to prepare for this game. One thing you noted that I totally agree with, great complimentary piece in the last game. You know, they're able to throw it pretty well. He ran it exceptionally, and they hope to continue that same formula in this game.
Complimentary with an E, not an I.
That's my English teacher right there.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but they make them out of bounds. That does you no good.
Ready?
Throwing again. Glenn. And he comes back with one complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. On to the second from Cleveland. It's the Browns in control of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Cleveland first down, an 11-yard pickup.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Now Dunbar. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Yeah, that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still 3rd down.
Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start. Looking to throw. Glenn. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The competition comes up in so many different ways, and right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. How about 5 sacks last week? We just saw their first one of this game.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Where'd he go? Ricky.
Oh, design run for their wideout. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 8. He'll look to throw. And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down. Defensive end gets in there that time. They were in a 4-3. What's the responsibility of the ends versus the tackles there, Charles?
Well, most of the time when you talk about the ends, they're your pass rushers. They're the guys that you turn loose to try and get to the guy who's going to throw the football. The tackles, usually more of the run-stuffing variety. But the way this game is advanced, you're wanting a little bit of everything out of all of your guys. But let's just go ahead and break it down, make it simple. The guy who's the right defensive end versus a right-handed quarterback, that's the blind side. He's going after the quarterback. He's going to put him on the ground.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down.
Come on, let's go.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there is no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Set. 56 is the mic. Let's go, let's go.
On 1st and 10, Glenn. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time He was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Going up top. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he decided to air it out a little bit on that play, take a shot downfield, but the coverage was really nice. Able to get a hand in and tip it away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Mike 56, Mike.
Back to throw. Glenn. He'll let this go for the end zone. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys do not play offense.
And his kick here is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. And, Charles, when you start talking about NFL kickers that have hit from 62 or further, it's a pretty short list, isn't it?
That it is, but how about the trust by a head coach to even let your kicker try from that range? That's really showing a lot of faith that he can get the job done.
Yeah, faith and guts. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And the magnitude of this game, everybody knows it. The fans, obviously, the players and coaches. There's just with them a palpable buzz right now. They know they control their own destiny.
Win and you're in. And I think every player wants that. I think every coach wants that. I haven't been an organization yet that wants to be in a game where they have to rely on other teams to get them to their goals. In this situation, it's very cut and dry. Win and you're in the playoffs. That's their mission. That's their
under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Back to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. 2nd and 6.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
They're going to look to throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is picked up by the Browns. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
Hey, tighten down. There you go.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Now the Browns signal for the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2.
60 outlaw. 56. No gain on this defense. No gain. Let's go.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And a throw right sideline is complete. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains, and really it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to.
And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. In for the score. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie, because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to a second and sometimes third progression. That was a nice play.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'm going to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The final 2 quarters of the NFL regular season are upon us as the second half of Week 17 is underway. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Newman. Now the ball comes loose, and it's picked up by the Ravens. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Now they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to be hit and taken down. Back right around the 48-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
The Ravens send their punter out now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. He gets us away. It's a good one, drawing toward the sidelines.
Good work, boys. Let's go. Let's go.
Heading out as the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that. All
the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Newman. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that one.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
56 to Mike.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Glenn got his man complete over the middle. It's Lopez. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. He's been big. 2 touchdowns earlier. Now he's got a 1st down here. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on 3rd down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a 1st down.
Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route.
90 is Wolf. Right there, 56. Watch the out, watch the out. Hit it.
On 1st down, Glenn. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. It's a gain of 10, and the Browns are going to get a 1st down. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, and tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
Well, that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
To throw on 2nd down. Glenn under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line.
But nothing takes a start to have a good drive quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Glenn. And that will be incomplete.
Whenever I see an in-route dropped, as we just saw on that play, I'm always thinking that in the back of their mind, they're worried about what's coming at them because they're going towards traffic on that route as opposed to being away from it and maybe having a little bit more space.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
Yeah, I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the third. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
He's the NFL sack leader coming into the game, and now that's 2 more that he's added to his total.
He wants some separation from spot 1 and 2 in that sack category. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And the Browns getting set to go. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. So 2nd and inches after that 1st down completion went just shy of the marker. They run the counter. It's Newman, and he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
No gain on the play. Brings up 3rd and 1. Watch that in.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Browns football, and they've got the lead here as we start quarter number 4. The Browns on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. On the run, Dunbar. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a 1st down. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Looking to throw. Glenn. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Our time. It's our time.
Rock it. Rush in. Fight.
To throw again. Glenn. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Get it.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Glenn. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. Here comes the Raven offense now, ready for another possession. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10.
That's right, baby. They don't want it.
He'll set up to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's third down. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to, or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
And not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the fourth. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
Now they go for it on fourth, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Browns are going to get this thing back. Excellent field position. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
50, play. Ain't no such thing as a loss. We take a win.
Looking to throw on second down. Glenn. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on second and goal. 2nd and 3. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. From 3 yards out. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is it bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Point after, right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Browns touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards the pickup there, good for a Raven first.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on it and then let him run.
He's got some space. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 35-yard line. They'll drop the throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long. The Ravens on 3rd down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up 4th down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak. Not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Ready, ready! 18 Gators, 56. I'm coming, baby, I'm coming, baby. Now.
On 1st down, it's Newman. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That's good for a Cleveland 1st down, an 11-yard pickup. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. A solid run on 1st down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I know that every now and then we get in those meetings with coaches, and you almost want to roll your eyes when they talk about staying on schedule when they're moving the football. But would you say a 7-yard run is ahead of schedule?
4th quarter with the lead, you love that, don't you?
No doubt about it, because staying on schedule is trying to get 4 downs on 1st down. They did that plus 3.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland 1st down. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Boy, nowhere to go at all on that 1st down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They'll run it now. Here's Dunbar. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. So from 2nd and long, now we go to 3rd and very manageable.
Yeah, they love that phrase, don't they? Because as an offensive coordinator, you can keep people a little bit off balance and guessing because you don't have to throw it. You can come back with a strong run game if you want to. And if you're in 4-down territory, that really opens things up for you.
That'll go as a pickup of 8. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And, you know, it wasn't a shutout. They did give up the points in the 1st quarter, but 2nd, 3rd, and 4th quarter, they held them scoreless.
Brandon, if you throw a shutout for quarters 2, 3, and 4, you're going to win a lot of games in this league. And this felt a lot like, almost like if you said baseball, and the pitcher goes through the lineup the first time, and the hitters get to see him, and then they come out after that, and the bats start blazing, right? I think they saw their best stuff in the 1st quarter and just shut everything down from that point on. What a great, convincing performance.
So for Cleveland, they'll wrap up the campaign an impressive 15-1. And now they'll have the week off as they get set to go after a Super Bowl title. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, this might wind up.
I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people and my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got enough. another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. Feel like Ginger from Casino. Aces up my sleeve. Right before I leave, I said like I'm Eno. Think I'm part Italian. Blame it on Gino. Snowflake the medallion. The skin on cappuccino. I don't kiss and tell. Keep your distance from myself. Fettuccine with the snails in a 5-star hotel. And I wish well when they wish for me to fail. I might donate petty bills. They can't get it by they sell.
That's why you treat my men good, but not too good. I give them too much, then they don't need me. I give them just
Yeah, I just ran a checkup on myself. Some days I just have to check up on myself. I'm so icy, got that GG on my belt. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. Lost a lot, but I came out with no else. Thank the Lord for my people in my health. And I'm fine as hell from my head down to my nails. My man tripping cause I got another sale. He still buy me YSL. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I could get it by myself. These I could get it by myself. I'ma get it by myself. Yeah. I'ma get it either way. I don't even gotta say what I want when I want. They just put it on my plate. I could get it right away. Take you through my day to day. Wake and pray, make that play. Get some good at my place. There's some on the way, cause my bro's on the way.